extend to you a very warm welcome to Zambia.
Thank you.
Welcome to our country. In terms of foreign direct investment, I think Zambia is one of the most attractive investment destinations in the region, if not in Africa as a whole. And there are many reasons for this. One of our greatest strengths is the political stability and democratic institutions and the peace that we enjoy in this country. And we have enjoyed this peace for 52 years since we got independence in 1964. For the first half year of 2016, January to June, we attracted a total of 1.8 billion United States dollars, which is more than we attracted last year for the same period, which was around $1.5 billion. And if you compare with countries in this region, this is about the highest level of investments coming into a particular period like this. The Zambia Development Agency is the institution of government that is mandated with the responsibility to promote investments into Zambia, even from local investors as well as from foreign investors. Now, we carry out a number of programs. We have our teams that travel around the world, conducting business forums, investment promotion programs, and at the same time, we also receive a number of delegations from different parts of the world coming into Zambia. And part of our responsibility is to take the responsibility off the shoulders of prospective investors to facilitate their entry into Zambia. We make it easier for them. We provide information on investment opportunities. We arrange meetings with various institutions or government ministries, depending on the area of investment that a particular investor is interested in. So the role of the ZDA makes it very easy, very simple for an investor to come into Zambia and set up their business. Every year, we identify what we call priority sectors. At the moment, we have 5 priority sectors. The number one priority sector is agriculture. And the good reason for this is that for 50 years, we have depended on mining, copper, cobalt, and other minerals. But as you know, these are assets which will one day come to an end. And so the policy of government has been to diversify. And because we have so much land, so much good rainfall, so much good climate, and just about any crop can grow here in Zambia. So agriculture has been made a priority sector, followed by energy, the investment in a diversified source of energy, because in the past we have relied almost entirely on hydro. Third, it is manufacturing. We want to ensure that the products coming out of Zambia, instead of exporting them in their raw form, we actually add value by manufacturing in the country, including agro-processing. Another important area is tourism. As you know, we have one of the 7 natural wonders of the world, the Victoria Falls. We have an animal sanctuary that is hard to match anywhere in the world, and a number of other tourist attractions which are yet to be explored. So tourism becomes another very important sector in our investment profiles. And finally, infrastructure development. We need to invest in infrastructure, good roads, new hotels, conference centers, and so on. So the investment opportunities available to a new investor or even an investor who is already here are enormous, and they are vast. Peace, stability, and a democratic country. I think that's a great incentive by itself. But beyond that, we have some fiscal incentives. If you invest, if a foreign investor or even a Zambian investor invests in our rural areas, in our multi-facility economic zones and in our industrial parks, they would be entitled on application to a 5-year tax holiday, particularly in the areas of manufacturing. Secondly, again, in those same areas that I've mentioned, investors would be entitled to duty-free, no duty on machinery and equipment coming into the country. And also we facilitate visa requirements, labor inflows into the country who need visas and so on, we facilitate. And very importantly to foreign investors, particularly in Africa, we have what we call an investment protection and promotion agreement. Any investor who invests upwards of $10 million, we sign an investment protection agreement, which means we are guaranteeing the investment as a government. And it also means that that investment cannot be nationalized unless there is some extraordinary reason why this must happen, but it will not happen. The legal framework is in place and it's safe. And we have a track record. But I should also mention, and I think this is an important incentive for Zambia, is that I think I'm correct in saying we are the only country in Africa where you have absolutely no foreign exchange controls. We did away with exchange controls back in 1994, 22 years ago. And we've been consistent with that. So investors are free to bring in their money and invest. They're free to take out their profits, their dividends at any time. No other country has that sort of exchange control regime as we have. This country is completely open to all investors. We do not have any areas which are kept away from any section of investors. Zambia has attracted many countries over the years, investing in various sectors of our economy. But those that come to mind will be Canada, Australia, mainly in the area of mining, Germany, UK, South Africa, India, and in recent years, China has become a very strong investor in our economy. As a country, we do not have sufficient capital to invest, particularly in infrastructure development, because these are major projects, roads, bridges, airports, dams. And so in our country, we partner with the private sector, particularly foreign investors who have the capital to bring in, and the government, through an institution called the Industrial Development Corporation of Zambia, which is the shareholder for government, will partner with foreign investors to undertake major infrastructure development projects under what we call a PPP model. And we encourage PPP projects. We encourage PPP partnerships between the government of Zambia through IDC and our foreign investors. You see, Zambia, in terms of population, we've only got 15 million people. Now, because we are surrounded by 8 countries, that's why we call ourselves land-linked as opposed to landlocked. We have 8 countries around us. It means any investor setting up a project here, their market outreach is more than the 15 million Zambians. You have 450 million people in COMESA and another 250 million people in SADC. So this gives us a market outreach of around 750 million people. Now that's a huge market for any investor to work in. The rule of law here is very strong. You saw that our president, after being elected on the 11th of August, the opponents challenged him. They went to court, through various courts, until the court said, no, this president won the elections fairly. So we believe in the rule of law. And the same applies in the area of investment. We ensure that the rule of law is paramount. And at the same time, in Zambia, we have a private sector-led economic development strategy. In other words, the government gives priority to the private sector. We want to see the private sector taking the lead in the economic development of the country. And we also have a very highly developed business sector. We have many international banks here. We have insurance companies. And we have a population that is very literate. You can go to any part of this country and try to speak English to even small children of 4 or 5 years old. They will answer you back. And we have a very friendly people. So I don't have any hesitation in extending a very warm hand of welcome to all foreign investors who are eyeing Africa as an investment destination. This is the place to invest. This is the place to double your money as an investor, because the prospects are so vast and unlimited. The most common mistake they make is not to invest here. Some of them, they look at other markets and they don't come to Zambia until it's too late, when the opportunities that they could have taken advantage of have been taken up by other people. And when they try to come back, they find that other investors have taken their place. I think that investors should not look elsewhere other than Zambia. And we, as Zambia Development Agency, are here for them to ensure that they are welcome to Zambia and they have a fruitful investment which is going to prove attractive to their shareholders.